Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. Delighted to be joined by, for the first time, boxing legend Nigel Benn. Nigel, I was going to shout at Gold Star Promotions. You're doing a tour around the country at the moment. You're currently in Sheffield. How's the tour going?
It's going really well. It's much more relaxing than working with the other person. Nobody's trying to nick the limelight. As they say, we're all legends. I don't call myself a legend, but they call the tour the Legends Tour. But everyone's just enjoying it. No one's trying to outdo anyone. We're just all talking about our careers, our life, our journey, which is actually really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I can assure you, you're definitely a legend. And obviously, if people still want to come in and watch yourself, Frank Bruno, Ricky Hatton and Joe Calzaghe, they've just got to hit the Gold Star Promotions Instagram page. There's still loads of shows coming up. One of the first things I want to ask you, Nigel, is obviously currently you're, like the names I mentioned there, you guys are on tour around the UK. If you was a boxing fan, which 4 fighters would you name and you'd want to go and buy a ticket to go and watch? Just drop me 4 names.
I'll give you 4 names. Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Harris, and Roberto Duran. That's it. They're the 4 that I would like to see live. Them 4.
You ever had a chance to meet any of them?
Yeah, I've met them all. Okay. Met them all, and and they're all good people, all good legends. And they got good characters, all of them. Met them all. My hero was Marvin Hagler. So meeting all them kind of people, mate. Yeah, it was an honour and a privilege to meet them. I would have liked to fought them all. Not saying I would win, but it just being an honour just to get in the ring with them.
You and Hagler sounds interesting. Out of all them 4 that you mentioned, have any of them left any particular impression on you from meeting them? Anything they've told you that you've always remembered? Because sometimes people have that, don't they?
No, we never really got into. It's just like just saying how much I enjoyed their careers, blah blah blah. But never really got into asking them questions like how people would ask me questions. I never done that, because I think they get it all the time. But just talking to them like how I enjoyed their careers, simple as that.
Good stuff. We ain't got a lot of time, so just a couple of quick questions I want to fire at you. One of the things I want to speak to you about is emotions. Emotions are big. We saw you last night, Lomachenko break down in tears when he didn't get his decision against Devin Haney. Some people find it strange watching grown men cry. Obviously, I want to see if you can share any stories about where you've kind of emotionally felt something like that, whether you've won or lost.
Well, it's actually not even about boxing when you have an emotion. Like yesterday, I was doing talking about Conor, how it has affected my mental health. And I was getting emotional about that. So it's not just about fighting. It's just like we boxers, we do have a heart. We do have feelings. We do have emotions. So, and a lot of it to do when you say people break down like Lomachenko, because he thought he won, that's something else. But, a lot of boxers do struggle with their mental health. And I think now it's more come to light. A lot of things that I went through as a child, we never knew about it. It's only like now I think, mate, this mental health has really come to the forefront with a lot of boxers that are struggling with maybe a lot of addictions. Not just only boxers, it could be footballers, A lot of issues in life, people just don't know how to deal with them. And sometimes you need to see somebody, like I did. I found out I've got bipolar, but you know what? I'm dealing with it. I'm much more calm. I'm on medication, but the funny thing about it, not strong medication, I was just a bit out of line. I'm taking it now, I just feel relaxed, calm, and happy.
That's good, Nigel, and that leads me on to faith. And I spent a bit of time with your son Conor yesterday, and he spoke about how important faith is in his life. And I just want to ask you, what was it like you bringing him up as a child? What part did you play with regards to installing faith in him?
No, it came late.
Okay.
It came late because I was still living the wrong life, and a lot of things of my past life has affected my son, but he was young because he didn't like me in a lot of ways because of how I treated his mum. I'm not talking about like having touching her or anything like that, but just having affairs and drug use and all things like that. And he just saw his mum was broken, and where I had to leave the house for 1 year, and that really crushed him as a young boy. That he said, "My heart's hurting," So, and he carried that through. And it's only like now that he understands a lot of things that I went through, that he kind of understands that the things that are right in front of him, you think, mate, I didn't understand what you was talking to him about, what I was trying to explain to him about, you know, and he sees that, you know. Me and my son, we're very, very close. We're like, you know, two peas in a pod. You know, we're identical in so much. What films we watch, our attitudes. I'm a bit more mature now because I'm quieting down. I'm like 60 nearly, so he's still. So I'm trying and help and guide him through this season of his life, as you already know how tough it is. The other thing I can say, you know, me and my son, we're not drugs cheat. It's just not who we are. That's the only thing I can say is drugs cheat. If I ever thought Conor was guilty, I'd say, sorry, son, I love you, mate, but you got to deal with this on your own, mate. This is your making. This is your bed. You lie in it. You deal with it. But if he wasn't, I mean, that's what affected me, because I was in my son for this training camp. And I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. But I honestly believe that this fight couldn't go on, because I just feel that my son would have annihilated him. I just saw this welterweight moved up to like middleweight, super middleweight, and mate, he was an absolute animal. When I look at my career, me at my peak, I'm here. Conor already in his training, in his attributes, he's already here. So now it's just getting through this season, what we're going through now. God willing, everything will work out soon in his favour, and then he'll be back on top. Nothing ain't going to stop him, because he's more determined now than he ever has, just to prove people that, you know, that's not who he is on social media. But I told him, stay off of social media, son. I mean, when I was around, we never had none of that. So now he don't need that. And when he went, because what it was really affecting him, thinking like, all these people don't like him. He had this like minute from social media. Then he went to the Anthony Joshua fight. He said, Dad, I could not believe it, man. The reception I got, taking pictures. And it elevated him to say, don't listen to minorities, mate. This is, people love you because, you know what it is? You're a good fighter and you're an honest fighter. And people love you in Britain, mate. You don't need to go and fight in my opinion, you don't need to fight in Abu Dhabi. You don't need to fight in Dubai. You need to fight here at home with all your British fans behind you.
I think on that point, one of the key things is judging people and how they are with you when you meet them. And I've only ever heard positive things about Conor in relation to that. And I saw that firsthand in Dublin in the last 24 hours. And one of the things I want to talk about is, I mentioned it to him as well the other day. Obviously, people talk about this failed test, etc., and his performance and his power. But one of the things that nobody really highlights is when he started off, and I said this to him the other day, that people joked about him slapping. And he wasn't punching properly, punching up.
Right.
And let's just say...
That was his first fight. I thought to myself, Conor, what you doing, man? You're like Doc Cotton slapping with your handbag, man. I mean, mate. And that's what we think. Me kind of laugh at that all the time, mate. I said, mate, Con, what you doing, mate? And I thought to myself, the way that he was fighting, then I thought, yeah, you might float around the southern area. And that was it, southern area, nothing more. Not even the English, the southern area. So it's like, but yet, the graft that he's put in, watching him now, as we speak, watching him now, the movement that he's got now, mate, I'm so impressed. My ideal, you know, is fighting. I mean, he had a falling out with Kell Brook yesterday. I mean, I was really shocked about that. Kell Brook, Liam Smith, Eubanks, if anything's left after Liam Smith finished with him, or then Spence or Crawford. That's how much I rate my son watching him now. This period has made him mature a lot.
Well, just correcting that as well with regards to the punching, I was saying he started punching correctly and nothing does that other than hard work, and he started knocking people out. So it's worth highlighting that, and I think a lot of people have missed on that. And you mentioned the Brook Benn thing yesterday. Kell still looks like he's in good shape. He's saying he'll be ready to fight towards the end of the year. I'm guessing it's a fight you want to see, and do you think his son is capable of beating Kell Brook, who is on the back end of...
100%, I got back my son. I back my son. Yeah, 100%. No two ways about it. He's on the up. You know, and I'm not taking nothing away. I've always, you know, when I saw Kell fought Amir Khan, it was that spiteful Kell that I like. You know, he's got something spiteful in him that will bring out the best in Conor, 100%.
And last question, Nigel. Who, in your opinion, is the greatest trainer of all time, and who is the greatest fighter of all time?
Nah, I can't answer that because you know what it is, and it's like, you know, then I'm forgetting about Muhammad Ali, I'm forgetting about Sugar Ray, and then forgetting about Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, and then you can talk about Canelo, then you can talk about Mike Tyson, who I love. So there's so many different fighters in different categories, and you know, all the top fighters I named could be voted as one. You know, even Floyd Mayweather, even Floyd Mayweather, even though he's not my style. I mean, to fight 12 good ex-world champions back in the day, everyone said he ain't fought nobody. He fought all of them. I know we don't like his style, or because people don't like his personalities, but he's, you know what, I think he's 50, you know, or something. So you know what, you know, now he's fighting like the YouTubers, and that's what it's all about now. Or these YouTubers and that taking over.
They sure are. And Nigel, it's been an absolute honour speaking to you for the first time. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thanks a lot.